Working in real estate this week, Carol Graham sold an apartment in New York City, 2 houses in the Hudson Valley, then finished another chapter on her latest feel-good murder mystery that takes place in Brooklyn, and she now has 4 minutes to spare for you this evening. Stay tuned.
I'm the youngest of 3 children, born to an educated Yankee mother and a ne'er-do-well redneck father. I've spent most of my life trying to figure out which side of that family tree I was a branch of. I heard my teetotaling mother's stories, and I wanted to be an artist or writer, a Larry McMurtry maybe, or a Philip Roth. I grew up also, more or less, in my father's West Texas world and became a drinker and a smoker, and probably had way more of his used car salesman heart than I ever cared to admit. In my 30s, I started taking more action to uncover my creative side. My older sister Linda and I have told each other our family's history as we knew it over the years. She to release herself from its shackles, and my version came out, I think, more to entertain. And I swear both of us thought we were telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Here are a couple of examples. My father's nephew was just 2 years younger than he, and they grew up like brothers in the 1930s. The nephew was called Son, short for Sonny, and they were wild and full of piss and vinegar and were known for pranking each other in the worst ways. My all-time favorite escapade was when Son graduated from high school, the first in the family. His father bought him a brand new pickup truck to reward his efforts, and he was very happy with it. Well, he and my father drove it to the big city of Pecos and spent graduation night drinking and raising hell. At some point during the night, my father went outside, came upon a rattlesnake, killed it, and wrapped it around the door handle of that shiny new Ford truck, hoping to scare the bejesus out of Son. But when Son came out to drive them home, he wasn't scared. He was drunk. He reached into the back, pulled out a shotgun, and blew a hole the size of a basketball in the door of the truck. I find that hilarious. My sister didn't. She used it as a cautionary tale, but didn't believe a word of it. She thought my father made it up to annoy my mother. And Linda's version is different anyway. She says that both Son and our father got into a drunken brawl, and Son tried to shoot his way out. And both of them ended up in jail, having to be bailed out the next day. But what's funny about that? And another of my own childhood memories was about what I consider to be my first job. I was about 5 or 6 at the time. My father, during that period, drove a big truck to the Texas Valley near Uvalde and brought back a load of whatever was in season, potatoes, for instance, or melons. He'd sell them to local restaurants, and then, of course, we'd have plenty of that harvest on our own dinner table. Whatever was left would get sold on the side of the road off the back of his pickup. I remember more than once sitting with my dad out there, my bony little legs dangling off the tailgate, helping him sell cantaloupes, 10 to a bag for $1, and at the end of the day, going home sunburned and so proud with a quarter in my pocket of my day's pay. My first job. My sister, however, a teenager in our small town, was mortified. I remember that for years after, well into her adulthood, she refused to even eat cantaloupe based on the humiliation she felt from just thinking about our roadside fruit sales. I visited her recently, and we were exchanging family stories as we do, and I brought up the cantaloupe. When I got to the end and put forth her disdain for that melon, she said, "Oh, but I love cantaloupe. I remember buying cantaloupe at fruit side stands, but not Daddy's, and you weren't there. Y'all sold cantaloupe off the truck? I don't remember that." I looked at her bewildered. It's one of my fondest memories. It's the version I've told for years. But, perception is 9/10 of the law, or something like that. What I should have said was this: I believe everything I just told you, but even if I made it up, it doesn't mean it isn't true.